Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. On this one, it's a recap of Mayweather versus McGregor. Alright, what'd you think about the fight?
Thought it was a pretty good fight. It's hard to live up to the hype with something that big, almost impossible. But I feel like it did for the most part. Started off, McGregor's winning rounds, and you can tell even like in the commentators' voices, they're like, oh, like this is really happening.
Like
and,
what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? And then as the fight went on, Mayweather he figured Conor out, and he took over, and obviously we all know he finished him eventually. But I thought it was exciting to watch. It was interesting. It's the most interesting fight I've seen Mayweather in years, to be honest.
Yeah, it was entertaining because it had that unknown factor.
Yeah.
With Conor with the unorthodox style, with the reach.
The reach that you mentioned in the video, I feel like was the thing that gave Mayweather the most problems early. Because like you said, he hadn't fought someone with reach on him in years. And so he finally had to, and he couldn't do his normal outside fighting style that he uses on people.
He
because
normally is able to stay back and hit him.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that against Conor.
Oh.
He had to inside fight him.
And once he recognized that
in a while,
in about the fourth, fifth round, you felt the momentum shift in his favor, and that's when, he started applying that constant pressure to McGregor, and
so
McGregor didn't really have an answer for it.
Right. So we've seen the boxer win the boxing match in the later rounds where Conor was not used to. Like basically, Floyd showed his experience.
Yeah,
as a boxer in the fight.
Look, we're MMA fans more than boxing fans, but I hear a lot of people making the excuse, if McGregor was gassed, and if he wasn't gassed, he could have won, which whatever, he was gassed, so that's irrelevant. But it's taken away a lot of credit from Mayweather, because, and you mentioned this when we were talking earlier, Mayweather landed a lot of body shots on McGregor. Like part of the reason McGregor was tired was because Mayweather wore him down. So
the pace too.
The pace he was setting. So it wasn't like McGregor just gassed out for no reason.
I think Floyd should get a lot of credit for his game plan.
Yeah.
It was really good. He showed his experience, and he showed that in boxing it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
And he paced himself. It was basically punches through accumulation. So it wasn't just, he wasn't looking for just one punch to finish Conor. It was just over time.
Right.
It'd wear him down, and eventually he couldn't keep up to that.
Even though he adjusted to an inside style, he never really got too far from his roots where he won by, like you said, punches through accumulation. Like he started winning rounds and beating Conor up a little bit and wearing him down, and then he sensed the finish was coming. And I don't think that Conor was really ever hurt, like rocked or whatever. I think he was just really tired, and he wasn't throwing much back. And I was okay with the stoppage.
I was okay with the stoppage too. It just showed that Floyd had the better game plan, and he was the more experienced in this type of fighting.
Yeah.
And I liked the fight, honestly. There was a lot of people giving crap. And honestly, I'm kind of happy that, to me, the way it went, I feel like everyone kind of won.
In a way.
Because Conor just didn't get destroyed.
Yeah.
He had moments, but then the boxer won the boxing match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like
it showed, look, Conor lost. Moral victories, whatever, BS. But like the fight showed that boxing isn't as far ahead in the striking department of MMA fighters, especially Conor, as a lot of boxing guys actually originally thought. It makes sense that the boxer would win the boxing match, but Conor did well, and that I feel like he didn't embarrass the sport of MMA. You know what I mean?
And if you looked at it too, he did well within the time period that an MMA fight would have lasted.
That's true.
Once it kind of passed the area he had no experience in, that's when Floyd started to shine and show that
after 25 minutes, Conor was gassed out. He was done. He was in shape for. That was probably one of the other big things, like between being worn down by the body shots and all that. Once it passed the mark he was normal, like used to fighting at normally, he was tired.
And we got to remember that most of Floyd's recent fights were all 12
Oh,
rounds.
yeah.
So he knew how to pace himself for that type of fight.
Yeah.
And he knew that Conor was going to try to knock him out. So he just weathered the storm.
Yeah.
And then once he slowed down, that's when he picked it up. So.
But it would have been interesting if Conor survived that round to see what would have happened, because I think Mayweather would have been gassed too at that point.
Oh yeah, he was definitely going for it.
I get why Conor was frustrated, even though I agreed with the stoppage. I get why he was frustrated with it.
Well, I was, it's pretty funny how all the boxing pundits who used to hate Floyd, Floyd created a situation where
they all got behind him,
where they had to root for him, and I will say this. He kind of redeemed himself from the Pacquiao fight by giving the fans a fight they wanted, doing it quick, not putting it off, and actually going for a finish.
Yeah.
Like he went for it.
He gets to retire 50-0, so he passes that Rocky Marciano benchmark, and he went out on a finish.
What I'm saying is
and on a good performance.
Yeah,
everything about it was good for him.
He went out on a high note
Yeah.
where people liked him.
Yeah.
Instead of the previous fights where he kind of left a bad taste in their mouth.
Right.
The only thing is, I wish he would have done that in the Pacquiao fight.
Oh, we all do.
I think he could have done the very same thing, and we could have had a really great fight.
So
he just played by the rules, won the decision. So that's what
That's
we thought about the fight. What'd you think? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.